This time on Monkey Life. Lola the chimp is losing her sight. A human eye surgeon is called in to operate.
You can see I'm just going to peel like a little window in the lens. That's quite tough.
Baby orangs Rika and Bulu Mata find exploring is best done in pairs.
When anything unusual happens, that's the natural reaction, they just cuddle.
And young chimp Thelma proves to be a willing pupil. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
We've really done everything we can to make her journey as smooth as possible.
The park provides a home for more than 250 monkeys and apes from 20 different species. It's a big day at the park's hospital. A specialist team of doctors and nurses, along with Monkey World's vet team, are prepping for a very important and rare operation. And in order to do the procedure, an impressive piece of kit called a phaco machine has arrived. It will transform the life of one of the primates.
Today we have quite a big and unique medical day because we've organized for a specialist human ophthalmic surgeon to come in and do a cataract operation on one of our chimpanzees. Today is the day for Lola's op. She's in her late 20s now. She's been at Monkey World for more than 20 years and was originally a beach photographer's prop when she was rescued all of those years ago. So she suffered malnutrition, beatings around the head, and it's those two factors that have set her up for premature cataracts in both eyes.
For a chimpanzee like Lola, this is a big problem. She lives in a large social group with 18 others, and it's essential she has her eyesight and her wits about her. Her failing eyesight is making her awkward around the other chimps, and this is affecting her social standing. Today's operation will hopefully help put that right.
We've got all sorts of specialist gear, people, nurses. It's gonna be a crazy day, but you know, whatever it takes if we can give Lola some vision back.
The phaco machine will be there.
So John,
The surgeon performing the operation is human eye specialist Lindsay Bray, and he has his team close to hand. He's done thousands of cataract operations on humans, but today's procedure on a chimpanzee is a first for him.
This sort of surgery, as far as I know, has only been done once before. Now, from what I've read of this single case that's been done, it seemed to technically be a very similar operation to one I've done in humans about 14,000 times, so it should be very similar.
A cataract occurs when the lens of the eye becomes progressively opaque, resulting in blurred vision.
The aim of the surgery is to replace that cloudy lens by an artificial lens. And the strength of that lens, there's a range of different strengths that humans usually have. The single chimpanzee who's had surgery fell right in the center of that range, so that's the strength of lens I'm going to use.
Jeremy and specialist wildlife vet John Lewis are heading over to the bedrooms to check on Lola. She's already been given a pre-op sedative to relax her, and next the care team will attempt to administer a general anaesthetic.
Now, if I turn up and try and inject her, she'll take one look at me and run off. But the staff that have her trained for injections are the obvious ones that she will trust and allow that injection to be made. So I'm waiting for the staff to tell me she's been injected, she's had everything, and everything's going fine. Ideally, the keeping staff will be able to just ask her to present her arm to the mesh at the front of the cage and then just gently inject her into her upper arm. And that's far more gentle, less traumatic than a dart, which is the alternative.
Lisa has managed to inject Lola successfully, and John checks that the anaesthetic has taken full effect before the tricky job of moving her to the hospital. Once asleep, she's transported the short distance to the operating room. Any anaesthetic can be dangerous, and the team won't be happy until Lola is on the table and hooked up to the equipment so that she can be properly monitored. While she's under the anaesthetic, they quickly check her weight.
Can you just tip her head down a bit? Hold on. Yeah, tip her chin down. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to need more support under her head.
With the outcome of the procedure not guaranteed, Lindsay will operate on only one of Lola's eyes. So he needs a good look at both to determine which one is worse.
Right, so if you have a look on the screen there, okay, you can see that is quite a dense cataract. I mean, all that white stuff is cataract. Just go to the other side, and that one does look a lot clearer. It's pretty good, actually. Yeah, so there's no doubt we'll be doing the right eye.
Every minute she's under anaesthetic is risky, and it's a tense time for the team. But they're determined to give her back her sight. In Hananya's enclosure, someone's having a lot of fun. The youngest chimp in the park, Thelma, aged 2.5, is out in the sun and playing with Simon, one of her doting uncles. Play is really important, developing her strength and trust, and how to creep up on uncles while they pretend not to notice. But inside the main house, there are lessons to be learned. And it's the primate care team who are the teachers. It's clicker training time, educating the chimps to present different body parts for inspection and treatment. Plus, it's the vitamin run.
This is an activity that we do at every chimp house every day, again, not at a set time. We just give out vitamins to everybody in the group. And we're doing that just to try and encourage the individuals in to see if Thelma will come in. But it's something that we would do anyway at some point during the course of the day.
When it comes to learning, this lot are top of the class.
Good girl. Hananya's group are actually a really good group. Most members of the group know pretty much all of the behaviours, which means that the sessions for them are very rewarding because there's lots of variety in what you can do with them.
To be surrounded by 19 highly responsive chimps has been great for Thelma, and it's not long before she arrives to practice her own skills.
Hello, Thelma.
Already she knows to come to the right point on the mesh and give her right hand.
Good girl. Thelma's doing really well. It's kind of a bit about retraining the staff, really, because obviously she's a smaller animal, so her appetite's much smaller. She takes longer to eat. So it's just kind of slowing the whole thing down and going at her pace, you know. But given she's not yet 3, she's already got 5 behaviours. She's doing really well and she's really keen on the training.
She's also learnt to present her left hand, both feet, and importantly for a young chimp, to open her mouth.
We're able to document her teeth as they come through, and obviously when she then loses her baby set, we'll already have that open mouth behaviour. So you can see that was a really nice open mouth behaviour. And you're getting to see all that lovely set of teeth that she's got.
Because the chimps are trained together,
Good girl.
it also teaches everyone good group manners.
Thelma is the daughter of the dominant female, so she has a very special status in this group, and it's teaching her to wait and to take turns and to respect the other animals, which means that we can give things out in a non-destructive environment.
It's clear that Thelma is a bright chimp.
Her mother, Cherry, is a very intelligent chimp. She obviously has the status of alpha female in the group, and that certainly she's got to that position with experience and intelligence. And Thelma's a chip off the old block, really.
But just like all toddlers, Thelma can get distracted. Although it doesn't take much to convince her to come back and finish the session.
So I'm just waiting for her to make eye contact with me, Thelma, when I reinforce her, just so that I'm sure that she understands what the process is. She's really got quite a nice duration to her behaviours already. You can see that she's quite happy to hold that hand, you know, for a reasonable length of time.
But once the session is over, it's back to what young chimps do best: playing and having fun. At the Orang nursery, babies Rika and Bulu Mata are loving their new custom-built playroom. It's perfect for young orangs to learn how to climb and be independent. But the cute duo are now getting so big and mischievous that carer Lewis needs to move them out while he cleans.
Hey, you two. Hey, Bulu boy.
This cheeky pair would cause chaos with a bucket and mop.
Ooh, heavy. I'm taking these two to a different room just for cleaning their playroom. So yeah, we have one of the back rooms is set up to be quite similar to their playroom. So there's a lot of hosing for them to move, and we put some food, some wood walls, so they are right there for a bit. And then we clean their room, and then we move them back. It's quite important for them as well to have different spaces where they are comfortable in, because then soon enough they're gonna have access to the whole house.
In the wild, baby orangs spend hours gripping tightly to their mums, so a quick trip between rooms clinging to Lewis is no problem. This room is connected to outdoor tunnels, an ideal training ground for getting used to the great outdoors, something the babies are yet to experience.
Hello, Rika!
Rika and Bulu head out to explore. Faced with new things, the babies always hold on to each other for moral support, which makes walking quite difficult. And although Bulu is faster and stronger, Rika is much braver in new places, and she quickly takes the lead. Bulu is easily distracted, and Rika hopes she's not missing anything. Today, with their room clean and tidy, there's time for another adventure before they head back.
Come on, Rika! Yeah. Are you on, Ricky? There you are. Okay. Let's go to the playroom.
Ultimately, the team want the youngsters to graduate to living full-time with the other, much bigger, older nursery group and their foster mums. So the next step is getting them familiar with the big kids' playroom, without the big kids inside it.
The idea is that Bull and Rika will get comfortable with this space, and then when it comes to time where we bring the other kids in with them, they are comfortable enough to just run around. They can socialize when they want in their own terms. If they don't want to, they can run, they can find the hiding spots because they will already know them. So yeah, that's what we're doing at the moment, get them comfy and used into this playroom.
But the babies aren't totally convinced.
It's a normal behavior to cuddle to each other when they have, when anything unusual happens. That's the natural reaction. They just cuddle and then slowly separate and then start exploring and start finding interesting things.
But this pair don't take long to get over their initial nerves. And they're soon off the ground.
It was quite impressive how straight away they like climbing up. It's quite a height in this building. So yeah, we were all a bit worried, but they are excellent climbers now. They're doing really well. So yeah, I'm really, really impressed with them. I think they are honestly ready to move on and meet the others.
So it won't be long before the devoted duo get the chance to make new friends. But for now, they get to enjoy this big space all to themselves.
I'm gonna stay here for a couple of minutes, make sure they are comfortable and they're happy here, and then I'm just gonna get out and leave them for the day here. I'm just gonna watch them from the distance, from the outside, and they can do their own thing.
And while the care team get on with other duties, Rika and Bulu do exactly that. And have a basket full of fun. At the park's hospital, everything is almost set for a very rare and unique operation. Chimpanzee Lola has been anaesthetised and is being prepped for surgery. A specialist team of doctors and nurses, led by human eye surgeon Lindsay Bray, are going to operate on Lola's right eye to remove a large cataract. Recent advances in human medicine, particularly in keyhole surgery, have made this operation possible.
In the past, cataract surgery hasn't been done in chimpanzees because it had to be done through very large incisions. Now it can be done through a tiny incision, just as we do in a human. The whole procedure is a lot safer. The eye is never opened right up, so after the operation, as long as Lola's eye is reasonably comfortable, she won't poke it or press it, and that reduces the risk of infection.
The majority of cataract procedures done on humans are relatively straightforward, and Lindsay has performed thousands of them before. But operating on a chimp is a first for him. And there are some anxious faces in the room.
Will it bother anyone if I have the lights, the top light down? Okay, so I'm just putting in a dye.
The first stage of this delicate operation is to remove a circle of clear tissue from the surface of the lens. By injecting and then draining blue dye, the lens stands out and makes it easier for Lindsay to carefully remove.
That's quite tough.
The circle of lens he's removing will be replaced with a brand new artificial lens after the cataract has been removed.
You can see I'm just going to peel like a little window in the lens. This just separates the lens from the contents there. The lens starts off clear, and when it becomes white, then it's called, that's what a cataract is. So you can see what I've done. I've actually moved it into the front of the eye, you see, and all this white stuff has got to go.
A high-tech piece of ultrasound equipment called a phaco machine is used to break up the cataract. A small probe is inserted into the eye, and sound waves split the cataract into small pieces, which are then sucked up.
Like a human, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so you can put the lights on. The whole cataract's been removed now, so can you see the faint blue circle there? Now that is a hole in the front of the lens. So the lens is like a flat disc. And what I've done is removed the top of that, and that's what that circle is. So that I've got the rest of the disc there with the little window in the front, and the implant is going to go into that.
The tiny new lens is rolled up and put in an injector, which is inserted through the original minute incision just under 3 millimeters wide. Once inside the eye, it's unraveled and placed over the circle of lens that Lindsay originally removed. The small wings on the side of the new lens keep it in place.
Now I'll put a suture in, Nikki. That looks nice, doesn't it?
This looks perfect.
It looks like a human one. That. If you have a look at the implant, can you see that there are rings? Those rings are different distances of focus. So Lola should be able to focus, you know, that distance, intermediate. It's like a multi-focus contact lens. Lola has got the best. And this is just an antibiotic. And now we're finished. Phew.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Let's get it.
Only time will tell if the operation has been a success, but today couldn't have gone any better.
If tomorrow is a really bright day, I'd keep her in.
Despite having done 14,000 of these operations before, this one managed to surprise even a surgeon of Lindsay's experience.
Just how incredibly human chimpanzee eye is, almost identical to a human, behaved in the same way surgically, exactly the same dimensions. But for the colour, I couldn't have told the difference. Really, it's absolutely identical. That was the surprising thing. It was actually very straightforward, and I was very pleased with it.
Lola will now be taken to a darkened bedroom where she'll spend the next 24 hours recovering under the watchful eye of the team. Next time on Monkey Life, a new woolly arrival at the park.
So far, all the signs are positive. Zingu's doing all the right things. We just let her get on with it and be the good mum that we know she will be.
And after her eye operation, Lola focuses on food.